Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the 12 Gauge Geek here on the Gaming Gulag channel, and today we're talking Splitgate 2. So, Splitgate 2 is a game that, in my opinion, came out of nowhere. I didn't even know it got released. I'd say it kind of shadow dropped one day. I was looking on the marketplace and I was like, oh, Splitgate 2? I had no idea that they were even working on it or anything. They, in my opinion, didn't market themselves great, but regardless of that, I found the game, tried it out, and I thought the game was really, really fun. The gunplay feels just like Halo, a little bit of Call of Duty because it's faster than Halo, more like Halo 4 than 3 because you actually have a sprint, you have a bit of class abilities and things like that. But I love the way it feels. It feels really fun. It feels nostalgic. I love picking up weapons like the foo bar on the map, the slipstream, the borealis, the BFB, the big fucking bat is what I call it. These weapons are all great in my opinion, and they feel really fun to play with. The maps, I'm a little bit divided when it comes to the maps in the game. Obviously, they're going to be Splitgate style maps, so they're going to have a lot of verticality. They're going to have a lot of depth, a lot of different avenues, and just movement-based criteria based on the maps. So, in my opinion, it's real easy to kind of get lost or to get shot from different areas. So, aside from that, from just the general maps in the game being crazy, I do really like the simulation alpha and like Charlie beta maps. I played those on a Fiesta playlist, and those were a bit more simplified, but really wide open, long avenues, stuff like that. They felt really cool to play. So the maps, in my opinion, some are okay, some are really good. Let's talk about the class system. The game does have a 3 different tier class system. There's, I believe, the Eros, the Meriden, and then I believe the third is the Sabrask. So the Eros has a ability that's called Rush, and you press, I believe it'd be like your R1 and your L1 together to activate it when you have it, and it allows your guy to just gain a really excessive speed boost for about 15 to 20 seconds or so, which really comes in clutch when you have weapons like the BFB or when you're playing game modes like Split Ball. I really like using that class. The second class, the Meriden, has I believe it's called Hyper Sight. It's basically like a scanning wave that pulses out and pings all of the enemies that the wave picks up in the area. I'm not sure on the exact time limit that they stay, revealed for you, but it is a really good class in certain clutch moments, like when you're in overtime and there's no respawns. When you're playing the Battle Royale game mode, it comes really in handy. And then the third class is the Sabrask, and that one puts up a shield that is you can shoot through, but your enemies can't. And obviously it has a certain amount of health, and as the enemies shoot it, you start to see cracks form in the shield, and it works really well. I forget to use it a lot when I play that class, but it's a cool addition. Each class has its own specific weapons that are in there, and you just have to work to level them up. In my opinion, they could do with revamping the level system a bit, as it does seem to take a while to level up. Aside from that, the game being free, it is very microtransaction heavy in my opinion, and the prices are a bit inflated. I haven't personally purchased anything on there, as I didn't see anything really cool or worth it to me. But the prices are, they're a bit egregious. But in my opinion, since the game is free, it's nothing to really get mad about necessarily. It's just with those prices, it's not a great business model. You know, you lower your prices, you make them much more affordable, and then, in my opinion, more people go in and want to buy your stuff. It's simple. But aside from that, my final little thing I want to touch on with my review aspect of the game is the OST. I think the soundtrack in the game is underrated. I see nobody talk about it, and it is amazing. It's a great soundtrack. I don't know who composed it or put those tracks together, but they did a great job. I just want to say kudos and phenomenal work there on that. So let's get into the fall of Splitgate. I like to call this segment Hatgate, and I'll show you guys why here in a bit. So it all kind of started from this, I'll pull it up here for you guys, this speech that Ian, I believe it's Pruitt, made at a Game Awards. And let's see where it is. Here we go. This is Ian's speech. Basis of that speech, hopefully you guys could hear it, is that he's just up there, he's wearing this hat, make first person shooters great again, and he's complaining about the current state of games right now. We've been getting the same Call of Duty for years, the same Black Ops for years. They suck ass. Battlefield is hit or miss. Honestly, Battlefield 1 and 5 were great. 2042 was hot garbage. What else do we have? Rainbow Six, in my opinion, needs to go back to a Vegas 2 style game. Halo can never get it right nowadays. I could go on and on. There's definitely a void when it comes to shooters, in my opinion. Gears is good, but the latest ones in the series just didn't hit like the old ones. So this guy's essentially just trying to say that he just wants to make shooters good again. He wants to make them great. And this whole segment honestly caused people to lose their mind, guys. This hat right here has caused the internet to just go crazy. And a lot of people, saw this hat, they think it's synonymous with, supporting Donald Trump and all of the politics that goes into this and this and that. And obviously Ian met a lot of flack when it came to, this speech and wearing this hat. And I think it's totally ridiculous. It's just a hat. Come on, let's all be adults. But aside from that, the internet is it's a meat grinder. They're gonna tear you up regardless of what side you're on. So he's wearing the hat, and people just are ripping him. They're attacking him like crazy, and he goes out there and he makes an apology. So let's see here. He basically makes an apology, for wearing the hat, this and this and that, and now he's caught in a rock between a hard place, because there's people who hate him for wearing the hat, and then there's people who support him and support Trump necessarily, or even if they don't like the left woke mob and the DEI crowd, and he caved to them. He apologized, he caved to them easily instead of standing on his ground. So now the people who hated him for wearing the hat hate him, and now the people who liked him before hate him for caving in so easily. So if you see here, I'll pull it up for you guys. You could see that there's just a slew of comments here, and let's see. Let me move a little bit closer just to read these for you guys, because I'll be honest, I'm kind of blind. So, look, here's one. I came here excited to play Splitgate 2 a second time. Sat on my toilet, opened X, saw the apology, and uninstalled Splitgate 2 minutes later and played Space Marine 2 instead. I'm tired of, what is that? Weak, bendy CEOs who claim to have a vision and buckle at the knees the moment they hear blah, blah, blah. And then I couldn't even acknowledge the complaints. Eventually, they would have moved on to another target, this person says. It's a wrap. They bent the knee and lost all respect. Never apologize to the left because it's never good enough, blah, blah, blah. So, as you guys can see here, that is a common theme. All I had to do was do an advanced search on X and basically look up Splitgate 2, and it's just a slew of people, just really hating on this guy, hating on the game, when honestly, the hat in the game have nothing to really do with each other. So it's just crazy to see the game get destroyed so hard, to just really get this much hate. Even people, might never have even really played the game and see all this hat debacle, Hatgate, I'm going to call it, and now they're out. They don't want to play. Something as simple as that will drive people off. People are easy. They're simple, in my opinion, sometimes. So, people are not playing this game right now, and then this article comes out here that the studio is in trouble. The studio lays off a small group of developers, and then it's also said here, now I think this is a boss move from them. It says that the co-founders aren't taking any salaries while they're trying to lock in to deliver the next phase of the game. So, in my opinion, that just shows that they're really serious about the game. It's a real passion project for them. They're actually trying their best to see the game succeed, even though it's receiving so much hate. Now, it's sad to see them have to lay off a small group of developers. I don't know how large it was. I'm not going to really go into the article much. If you guys want to, you can always check it out. But it's just sad to see, because I like the game. The game is fun, and I just wish it hadn't gotten caught up in all of this, because now when you look at the game, you check here on the Steam charts, and at its peak, it was at 25,785 people. And this was as of yesterday when I grabbed this demographic or statistic off of Steam, and there was 4,700 people playing it. It is slowly dying. You can see that there is an up and down trend going on with it, but as you really look at the graph, it's ultimately just slowly trending down. The game's player base is dying, and it's just really sad to see, especially when you look. I mean, you can check and see here, compared to a lot of the other games on Steam, Counter-Strike being number one. Look at all these player counts. Even Marvel Rivals, Rust has 41,000 or something people playing it. It's just, it's on the way out, guys, because there's a lot of other games here that are much older, are, in my opinion, not as polished, or not as, not going to say they're not as good. They're all different types of games on this list. But just from the trending and just from seeing what other people are playing, even older games that can still, like PUBG, I think was on there, can still hold a very consistent player base, it does not look like it's going to be good for Splitgate, guys. So, yeah. That's really, aside from that, the game is still fun to play. I hope if anyone's watching this, give it a try. It's free. Don't listen to all the critics, all the hype, all the negative energy surrounding the game necessarily. And just give it a shot. It's real fun to play. It's fun to play with friends. They have really cool game modes. I like Firecracker. I like Splitballs. Hot Zone is a really good one. I really like when they're trying to rotate out playlists currently. I've seen Snipers Only, that was amazing. The Fiesta playlist, where every time you spawn, you're kind of spawning with a different weapon, or possibly the weapon that you were last killed with. I'm not sure the true mechanic there, but that was played on simulation maps, and that was a blast. They currently have Team SWAT out right now. I love that they every 3 or 4 days are at least rotating new game modes in to try and keep the game fresh. And I also noticed that last time I had hopped on the game, they were taking feedback. They were asking players if they felt that the classes were a good idea. Should they do away with it? Does it add to their fun? Would you have more fun with access to all weapons amongst all classes? They're really trying to work hard and listen to their player base to see what people want and what they think is going to make the game successful and draw people back in. So, yeah, that was really it. I hope you guys liked this video. Like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.